One of my prayers for 2025 is that God uses me however it is that He sees fit. I'll be the first to say that I am not a perfect person, but I do pray that I am progressing and that I am a lot nicer, kinder, more gentle, more loving, more patient, more at peace, and more disciplined than I was before I started to develop a relationship with God. Before my relationship with God and being very intentional, I grew up in church, but I didn't really know God and I didn't know His Word either. I used to think that I was free, but really I didn't realize that I was imprisoned to guilt, shame, condemnation. I was imprisoned to placing expectations on others. I was imprisoned to what the world defined as fun and the expectations that the world had also put on me. I was imprisoned to unforgiveness. And it wasn't until I started to develop a relationship with God that I started to realize who I truly was. And often, there was this constant battle between flesh and spirit. And I didn't realize that I was in the midst of that battle. I used to think that it was all religion. For myself, religion was just a bunch of rules and laws and expectations that man places on man. I don't believe that God has called us to religion. I think He's just called us to know Him and to love Him and to see Him in everything. Like, I cannot see a sunrise or a sunset without knowing that that is God's canvas and that He is present. I believe that religion is the thing that man has used and created in order to cause wars and strife and to make people feel like they're not good enough to actually have a relationship and come into covenantness with the Lord. I just want my life to be a testimony. And as I was reading today, this is Psalm 51, and it's a Psalm of David. And if you know anything about David and Goliath, David was not a perfect man, but God still called him by name, and He had a purpose for his life. And He actually used David's faults and his flaws to glorify the Lord. And it says, verse 16 and 17, "For you do not desire sacrifice, or else I would give it. You do not delight in burnt offering. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite, conflicted heart. These, O God, you will not despise." And I just want to reassure you, as someone who came to God feeling broken, feeling unworthy, feeling unloved, feeling unseen at one point, having dealt with depression in the past and suicidal thoughts. God wants you to come to His altar bearing all of those things.